Hello, welcome to another
Hi.
LinkedIn Live. I am just interviewing all the Business Book Awards shortlisted authors for Practical Inspiration Publishing, all 22 of them. And today I'm with Philippa White, author of Return on Humanity, which you can just see propped up behind you. Have you got one you can sort of wave more?
I have one that I can wave so you can see it a little bit closer.
Gorgeous. Brilliant. Wonderful.
My heart's beating fast. Why is my heart beating fast? This is so exciting.
It is so exciting, and we've got to keep this. We've got to keep a lid on this until the 10th of September, which is when the final awards evening is. But in the meantime, let's just celebrate the whole shortlisting thing. How exciting is that? And yeah. I just want to invite you, Philippa, just to say why you wrote this book. And I know the story behind it. I'm really, really excited to get the chance to talk to you about it.
Well, I mean, there's so many different reasons, but I think over the course of my work over 20 years, bridging so many different worlds and having conversations with so many different sectors and people from literally all corners of the world, as my subtitle says, leadership lessons from all corners of the world. And I started to see truth that wasn't a known truth or one that was really being implemented in business. Through the business schools, through just business culture. And it was this thinking around people first rather than profit first. And, what do I mean by that? Well, when we really tap in, if we really understand the power of a people first culture, so it's a culture that really heroes people and understands how you can get the most out of a business and also people. And it's just understanding that these softer skills, be it, vulnerability, cultural intelligence, empathy, kindness, et cetera, we're kind of just seen as these sort of, they're a bit of a nice to have. But I started realizing through all of these conversations, as I say, with people all over the place, that actually, hold on a second, this is business critical. And then I dug deeper. And so then I dug deeper. I had even more conversations with, anywhere from billion-pound companies to a social enterprise in Tanzania and more. And I started understanding that, oh my gosh, why are we not talking about this? Why is business not really embracing this? And so I thought we need to get this out there and make the business case for it. And so hence Return on Humanity.
And all of that is just, it's so important. I think people are starting to talk about it more, but you've given them a lovely phrase to talk about it with as well, which is, one of the great gifts of writing a business book, isn't it? But also one of the things that really struck me about your book is the way that you break out of that mold of just using tech giant case studies or, sort of the Western model. And you said, well, actually, there's an awful lot we can learn from all around the world. And I think very few books really do that.
Yeah. And that's what it's a huge part. Again, the subtitle, which is Leadership Lessons from All Corners of the World. My business over 20 years has really unearthed that power of bringing different worlds together and learning from one another. We do that through our leadership courses, our workshops, everything that we do. But exactly, we have, business has tended to be driven by the global north and, the big business schools. It tends to be, it's the Harvard Business School publications. But yet we have so much that we can learn from other parts of the world. And it's when we start to unearth these truths that just the voices aren't strong enough. And so that's just what's amazing. And I get goosebumps when I think about it, because then you start to kind of, you provide these opportunities through my programs that could get people exposed to these different ways of doing things. But it was just so great to be able to unearth that thinking through a book that just makes it so much more accessible to other people in other parts of the world.
Showcasing it. And it's brilliant. It's so important.
Yeah.
And I think we've probably touched on why it matters. Honestly, we've started to do that. But I guess to ask a very leading question, do you think it matters more than ever these days as we're facing AI, as we're facing sort of fear? And
yeah, I mean, I think there's two parts to answer that question. I think one of the reasons why it is so powerful and so important to get this message out there is because it's not like you need to go to a special school to be able to unearth these human competencies. The beautiful thing is literally we all have them. We all have them. The thing is that they've kind of been beaten out of us through culture, through education, through, corporate culture, whatever it might be. And actually,
this is how you suppress your humanity.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you get ahead. That's how you win. That's how you win. You get more successful, whatever it might be. And again, this book is all about, one, just understanding just how simple it is, because it really is tapping into it, giving yourself permission, but also just stopping and thinking about what that even means. And I think we don't all recognize that we all have access to this. It's just we need to be given the permission and the tools to unleash them. But I think the other, like you said, the other thinking really is that a return on humanity does make businesses significantly more, if you want to say profitable, successful, competitive. Those are all sort of the business school words. But when people are more engaged, when people feel that connection, when people feel that belonging, they are, they stick around. They don't
and they perform better.
They perform better. They're more innovative. And all the stats are there, and it's proven. You go to the Gallup studies, and they're all there. And so it's just helping leaders really just understand it is very simple. You all have access to this. It just makes life better, and it makes business better, and it makes the world better, because my book's actually separated into 3 sections. One is just before we're leaders, we're people who have families and life experiences. So, life is just better when we behave in a more human way. As leaders, leadership and business is better when we behave in more human ways. And actually, if businesses are more people first and people centered and really focus on all of this, it is also proven that they are more sustainable and better for the world. And so it kind of leads in again to my tagline of my business, which is better leaders, better companies, better world. And so I brought that to life through.
Such a hopeful message.
Yeah.
Now, a much less profound question, Philippa. How did you react when you found out you've been shortlisted?
So I did not think that I would get shortlisted, and I obviously couldn't be in the UK for it because I live in Brazil. And I had my 2 really good friends who I've met through your extraordinary program. So Ollie and Julie, and they were there. And so Ollie sent me a screenshot, and I was at a doctor's appointment with my daughter for her knees because she plays volleyball anyway. And so I was in the waiting room, and I got this on our Bookworms message, and I got this photo through on my phone. And I was like, okay, so they're announcing the people who have been, who have applied. Is that it? And he's like, no, that's the short list. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I'm like, Bia, oh my God. And everyone's kind of looking at me. I'm like, oh my God. And so that was so, and I was trying to watch it. I was sort of trying, I'm like, I don't know where it's at. I'm not sure what's happening. And Ollie's like, no, this is it. You've just seen it. I just sent it to you. So.
Amazing. Oh, I'm so glad I asked you that. I didn't know that story. That's hilarious.
Everyone's sort of like, what is that stranger? Because
why is she jumping up and down in the doctor's waiting room?
And so I'm already a little bit different. And I was there with my computer trying to sort of connect and see if I could find it and see what was happening. So everyone didn't quite know what was happening. And Bia's like, hilarious. Oh my God. So yeah.
So the awards evening is on the 10th of September coming up. How do you think you might react there?
Well, I mean, who knows what can happen on that day? I'm just excited to go to a big fancy gala dinner. That's what I'm excited about. So I will be there. I'm planning all my meetings around it. So 100% I'm there. And I just can't wait to meet people in person. I can't wait to meet you in person. I can't wait to just, see people be a part of something like this. And it's just so amazing to be part of a group of phenomenal individuals who are, writing amazing things. So even just to get there is fantastic. So
yeah, it absolutely.
Anything more than that will be amazing.
We're going to have a fantastic night, whatever happens. Oh, it was so much fun to talk to you, Philippa. Thank you for telling a bit more about the book. And I'll see you soon.
See you soon.